Hello, I'm Stephen Hammond, founder and president of Covenant Financial Ministries. Today we have a very special guest with us again today. It's Rufus Spend-A-Lot. Rufus, how you been doing?
I've been doing pretty good, Mr. Hammond. I appreciate you asking.
Rufus, I want to ask you a question. You know, the Bible talks a whole lot about stewardship, and so many churches in January do a stewardship month. I'm going to ask you, Rufus, do you tithe to your local church?
Of course, I gave $2 whole last week.
$2. Rufus, that's a whole lot of money to give at one time.
I'm saying, you know, I had a really good check 3 weeks ago, and I gave 10.
Man, that's wonderful, Rufus. So last week, when you gave 10, you must have made $100 that week.
No, I made like 1,000.
And you call that, Rufus, tithing? You know what tithing means? The Bible says that tithing is the tenth. So 10% of whatever you make goes to the Lord. So if you made $1,000, you should have gave at least $100 to the Lord. And you gave how much?
$10.
$10. You know, Rufus, a lot of times I count the money at our church, and I see people, the offering plate will go by there, and they'll drop in $1, $2 or something like that in the offering plate. And they expect the church to supply them with coffee in the morning for breakfast. They might want to receive donuts, something like that, something to eat if they come in. And how can the church survive, Rufus, if everybody only gave $1 or $2 in the offering plate every day?
I don't know. I guess it would be kind of hard to pay the secretary.
Yeah, that would be very difficult. And it might be hard to keep the lights on and pay the pastor and pay the insurance and everything else that goes along with running the church. Rufus, do you know what the Bible says about a steward?
Stewart? Who's Stewart?
Well, Stewart is not James Stewart, but I'm talking about a steward. A steward is somebody, Rufus, who manages money for somebody else. And you know, God has called us to be a faithful steward. So we are to manage money just like it was our own. And we should actually count the cost with everything. So Rufus, the Bible says if we give, that the Lord would give it back to us, pressed down, shaken forward, with men heap into your bosom. So, you know, the call, Rufus, is for us to be generous, not only in tithing, but everything else we do, like time and your talents. So, Rufus, how much time are you donating to the work of the Lord?
I did help a little old lady across the street yesterday.
So you're just living a real generous life, is what you're telling me, Rufus.
I could be doing better.
So, Rufus, what are you going to do a little better?
Well, I guess I should start by giving 10% of what I make, and I guess see about what I should do from there.
You know, Rufus, the Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians 16 is that we are to give as God prospers us. So our country is probably the most wealthy country that's ever been. And maybe you should look at the giving, the generosity, not that the tithe is actually the ceiling as to highest you should go, but the tithe should actually be the floor. We should give more because God has really prospered us. Rufus, you got a job, you're making some weeks $1,000, other weeks maybe a little bit less, but you're very prosperous in all that the Lord has given you. Rufus, you think maybe you can reconsider and try to be more of a faithful steward of what God's given you?
I think so.
Well, God bless you, Rufus. I know when you do, God will surely bless you. Until next time, God bless you.